All right, welcome back to All Hands on Tech Live. I am Jeremy Morgan, and it was a little bit late today. Some technical difficulties, so I updated OBS, and that caused a string of very strange problems. However, we are live. We're live and rolling. So I'm doing a quick tech check, and I can see that we are not going on YouTube. We are on LinkedIn. We are on Twitch. So, yeah. It's kind of like I've said a few times. Subscribe to us on Twitch, because that's where we're going to be all the time. All the time, every time. In fact, I have a little screen here. So my Stream Deck doesn't work today. So that's pretty awesome. And it looks like I don't have access to that. So we're going to jump right in. So today we're working on the Metar Reader again. And what this is it reads out these Metar reports. If you've never caught our stream yet, I will catch you up on exactly what we're working on and what problems we're trying to solve today. So I'm going to load this up right now. There we go. Awesome. And doing another check here just to make sure we are on and moving. It appears we are. So again, we are at twitch.tv/pluralsight_live. That's where you can catch us every single time, every single stream. We attempt to restream out to many different places, including LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, things like that. It doesn't always work. I don't know why, but it doesn't always work. But we're always on Twitch, so that's the best place to find us. And let me load something up here really quick, and then I will start in here. Okay, perfect. So I've got the chat room loaded up. We're ready to go. So what we're building here is a Metar Reader. What is a Metar? Let's bring up what a Metar is first. So we've been building this Blazor app, and this Blazor app does several different things. So to start out, let's go ahead and just we'll put up the Blazor app. So this is your first time. If this is your first time coming onto this stream for All Hands on Tech Developer Live, this is what we've been working on. Yikes. Okay, I don't need all those other ones. Close other tabs. So for the very first stream, we built this IP reader. And what this is it's like, what's my IP? You go to the website, it will tell you what your IP is. Because of the way Blazor works, we can't really grab the server-side variables and things like that we've been able to do with .NET in the past. So what I did was make this call, and I call out to an API, and that API returns the IP address of the client that made that call. So we're making the browser reach out and say, what's the IP? It comes back, and it sends you an IP address here. Then we took a GeoLite database and an executable and turn that into a town name. We tried to determine what city or town that IP address should be coming from. And in my case, it's Hillsboro, Oregon. And then we decided to map that out on a Google map. And this was the first part of this little homepage utilities project in Blazor. It's fairly accurate. I think my IP address has actually changed recently because of a couple of power outages and things like that have happened. But I mean, it looks to be pretty accurate. We're here. It says this is your IP address. You're located in Hillsboro, Oregon. Hillsboro, Oregon is fairly close to where I am. I'm actually in Laurelwood out here in the middle of the sticks. However, there's a pipeline that comes through because of all the tech companies in Portland. You can see this is where Portland, Oregon is. There's a big pipeline that goes right along here on the Sunset Highway for companies like Intel and Nike and the Silicon Forest, as they call it. There's hundreds of tech companies out here, and they're all along this pipeline that goes into Hillsboro. So I'm assuming that my IP address saying that I'm coming from Hillsboro, Oregon is probably accurate. I'm probably on some branch here that just goes over top this mountain into Hillsboro. Pretty happy with it. So this one, we probably will do some tests for accuracy at some point. Hello, Dana. Thank you for joining. I can see we're working on Facebook now because you're coming from Facebook. So thanks for joining. I'm just kind of explaining the project that we're working on here. Now, what I decided to do is add on to this project a little bit. So this thing was cool. This is like a what's my IP type of thing where people can go to your website and see what their IP is, where they're coming from, etc. You could use this to do all kinds of things. You know, you could show me what's cool in Hillsboro that's happening right now. You know, you could do that with this functionality. And then we decided to do a Metar Reader. Now, a Metar is, what is a Metar? We'll bing that really quick. A Metar is a meteorological terminal air report. And what this is just a string of text. I brought up this page before, I believe. But it's a string of text. There it is. There's our Metar. It's a string of text that's given to pilots. So pilots can take these strings of text, read them, and see what the airport or what the weather is around a towered airport. So any towered airport that releases Metars, they can get that Metar. You can actually do it on your phone. There's a thing where we can send a text. Let's see. We'll do that really quick here if I still have the number. I'll show you how convenient this is. I've actually used this a couple of times. And I can't find the number. Here we go. Flight services. So we have this thing here. I don't know if you can see on the phone because of the focus. But I have this thing called flight services where I can say Metar HIO. And then it will come back with a text string. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see with the, but it comes back with this text string for my nearest airport. Tells me all kinds of things. Tells me the time, the wind, the visibility, how many clouds are out there, if there are any rains, and then remarks like thunderstorms or something like that that comes through in remarks. So what we're doing is building an application that splits this all up and makes it into a human readable format, something that humans can read and look at for their nearest airport. So let's go ahead and press continue on this. And this is how far we've gotten. We've run into a lot of unique challenges with this. And in fact, I can see right now that the Metar is a little bit messed up from where it was last week, even though it's the same airport. So here's our Metar string. This is the string that's given out to pilots or anybody really. Get this string. We split it up. We say our airport code is KHIO. That's the Hillsboro Airport. Day of the month, the 6th, which is today. It is 17:53 Zulu time. And that's not the time right now, but that's the time of the Metar. They're released every 55 minutes. So 17:53 is when the last Metar was released. We've got no measurable wind. Wind direction, no measurable wind. We kind of tied that together last week. And as far as clouds, we have no clouds below 12,000 feet. And this is pretty accurate because right before I went to do this stream, I walked outside and it's not windy, it's not hot, it's actually perfect out there. I wish I could do this live stream from like my laptop in my front yard. It would probably be pretty relaxing today to do that. And then next we're going to have to grab our temp and dew point and our altimeter readings. And we're going to grab those and put those in here. Today we're going to do some pretty serious refactoring to this thing because I've noticed a lot of very interesting problems that have come up. As we've been doing this Metar Reader, we've noticed that Metars are different. They're all over the place. There are a set of fields that are separated by a space, which is fantastic. That's great. However, those fields change. They're very dynamic. They're very flexible, especially with remarks. And remarks get added to the end, and it's like, boop, 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 boop. It could be 10 remarks on there. Could be no remarks. So it's just not an easy thing to do. Sometimes the third item in the index is wind, and sometimes there's no wind, so it's something else. So we've had some challenges kind of going through this, and it's been really fun. I won't lie. So one of the things I started to work on last week is get report type. So what type of report is it? What is this field? And we're just trying to guess. You know, I did some regex that said if the first three of this is letters, then it must be clouds because they have few, scattered, broken, all of these things, and they're 3-letter abbreviations. So we've determined if it starts with 3 letters, nothing else in the Metar starts with 3 letters, this must be a cloud. And then we did one for temp and dew point. And so what we do with temp and dew point here, which I don't actually know if this, I don't remember if any of you were on the stream last week, if we actually got this working or not, but we're doing a regex match here that's saying if we have 2 digits and a slash and another 2 digits, that's our temp and dew point. It doesn't look like we're storing it, but we're looking for it. So let's just jump right in. And let's see if we are doing this regex match. Oh, another thing, I use different airports at different times, basically to kind of just spot check things and test it. So here's our if regex. Let's go ahead and we'll continue here. And we did not match for this regex. So we're returning report type as cloud. So this must be for the cloud. So we'll just keep stepping through here. And string report type is cloud. If report type is cloud, store cloud report. So now we're storing our cloud data. And we're going in here to number 5. Index 5, what type of report are we getting? And it is not cloud. It is not temp dew point. So we need to find out what that report type is. Report type. Let's see our string report type. We'll go in here and we'll see if we can find out what that report type is. This should be under this. Right, and I is set to 4. Oh, I see. So this is just going to loop back through, and it won't actually check until it's 5. So let's just keep looping through here. This is why I want to refactor this thing completely. Now I is set to 5. So now it should evaluate. Right here. And spring report type, say get report type. Now we've jumped in here and it's going to say, is it a match? It appears that it is. Let's return that temp viewpoint here. And now our report type is temp viewpoint, or temp dew point. I don't know why I said viewpoint. Now our report type is temp dew point. So let's step through. This should evaluate to true. And it does. Now we go to store temp viewpoint. And we're just going to store Metar data 5, which is 22/09 for our temp dew point. So our regex does work. Now we know for sure that it does work. So let's build that store temp dew point here. Now our Metar field that comes in was like 2209, I believe is what it said. So 2209. So we need to split that. The first thing we need to do is split that by the slash so that we can split it into 2 different values. And we're going to have 22 and 09, which is our temperature and our dew point. And doing a quick tech check here. For some strange reason, our developer stream is live. There we go. Okay. So we are up on YouTube now. That's fantastic. We're here. Back to Twitch. And just checking to make sure we're almost always on Twitch, like every time. So that's pretty exciting, because that's where we're going to be all the time, is on Twitch. So I'm just doing a quick tech check to make sure that we are there we are. Okay. So we're good. Looks like we're live on more than a few channels. So the first thing we want to do is say var our fields equals metar field split, and we're going to split by this character right here. That should split it into 1 and 2. We'll verify that. Actually, we'll just verify it right now before we get too far ahead. And of course, I've got just a ton of breakpoints in here that I need to remove. So go here, we're loading up the page, we're going to the weather. Bang. Oh, I did. I got rid of all of them. And as you can see here, our fields are now split into 22 and 9. 22 is our temperature, and 9 is our dew point. So this is a pretty easy thing to store. Our metar. Oh, and I think I did the temp and dew point as the same. I did do it as the same field. So now we've got to go back to our object here, and we've created an our metar object, which is this one right here. And I'll scan through, and this is where we're at. This is the object where we're actually storing everything. And then we're using Blazor and using data binding to just pull the data straight from this object and display it out onto our page. I have temp and dew point as a single field, which we do not want. And you'll notice I'm making these things all strings because it starts as a string, and it's just easier to stuff it in as a string, and we can do some different validation on that at a certain point. So instead of temp dew point, we're going to say temperature. This one, we're going to do dew point. Now this is going to break because we still have temp dew point stuff in here. So this is fine. We'll say temperature, and we'll just change this to temperature. Let's say dew point. Dew point. And then we need to go all the way down to here and say temperature equals our fields 0. Now this should work. We should even be able to take out this breakpoint and just run it. Just run it and go. And we're a little mixed up. As I remember, our dew point was 0.9. So, that's right. These are the types of silly mistakes that I make when I'm streaming or presenting. I don't know if you all have the same thing going on, but if I'm streaming or presenting, I do funny, silly mistakes that are laughable. So we have a temperature of 22 Celsius, dew point of 0.9 Celsius. I don't remember off the top of my head how to convert that to Fahrenheit, but I want to convert it to Fahrenheit. So what we're going to do is jump back in here. We're going to refactor this one. We're going to rename this one. Yeah, include comments, strings. We're going to rename it dew point C for Celsius. And we're going to take this one. We're going to rename this one temperature C for Celsius. We're going to include comments and strings. Actually, we don't want to include strings. So temperature C, dew point C. And we'll go back into our Razor app, way up here to the top. And where is our temp and dew point? Here we go. Temperature C, dew point C, perfect. So here we can say temperature C and just put a C for Celsius. Let's double check our work. All right, 22C, 09C. I'm trying to think of the best way to format this, because I want to do 22C and then 70 degrees Fahrenheit or whatever it is. That's my guess. So, and this is just for the American audience, of course. International folks will not care at all for the Fahrenheit, but we're going to add it in here anyway. Dew point temperature C, dew point C. Okay, so down here, temperature F. So actually we can remove this. This was kind of a demo here. Dew point Celsius. Temperature Fahrenheit. I'm not even sure if I'm spelling that correctly. Dew point F. What about Kelvin? We could add that in. I have no idea how to convert that one in my head either. Temperature. Fahrenheit. Oh, and this is dew point. Duh. Been doing that a lot today, huh? Dew point Fahrenheit, temperature Fahrenheit. Let's at least keep these in the same order. And then we're just going to look up the conversion, because I don't remember. I think it's divided by 5 plus 37. I don't know. Doesn't matter, because we're just going to look it up. We're going to Google it. That's a big part of being a developer, right? That's the best skill to have, is to Google it or Bing it or whatever. So our Metar temperature F is going to be, let's find out. Oh, that's my regex thing I was playing with last week. Convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. Let's find out what that very short conversion is. Double the C figure and add 30 doesn't sound right. Double Celsius and add 30 does not seem right. This is saying it's 22, about 70 degrees. So yeah, I guess that is pretty close. 44 plus 30 makes it 74, but I know there's a better one. That's what I was looking for. See that? We'll put that in quotes. We'll say our field's 0. Times 9. Divide that by 5 plus 32. Oh, and we need to make that an int. To int. Why doesn't it like that? It's can't convert type int to string. So we need to go here and say to string. There we go. So now we're doing our Fahrenheit. Let's look at that and make sure it looks good, looks decent. And I forgot to display it in my Razor page. Got a little impatient, got a little ahead of myself there. Our meter temperature F. Now let's try it. Should say 71. Kelvin. I'm going to put Kelvin in here just for the heck of it. There we go. It should be about 71 degrees. So now we know we're at 71 degrees. So perhaps this would be better in a unordered list because we're starting to get into a big long string again, right? So let's just do that. Let's say temperature, unordered list. Temperature C. Temperature Fahrenheit. Let's see if this looks a little better. This is how easy it is to mess with Razor pages. This is one of the reasons I love Razor. So easy to manipulate this data. All right, 22C, 71F. Let's do the same with dew point. And we'll say UL. Actually, we'll just copy. Let's just copy and paste. Let's save ourselves a little bit of typing time here. And set temperature, we're going to say dew point C, dew point F. We'll zip all the way back down here. And again, we're copying and pasting and saying dew point F equals convert to fields 1. And just for you, Dukasoft, we're going to add Kelvin in here. Perfect. So we have Celsius. Is Kelvin K when it's abbreviated? I'm ashamed to know I don't have the answer to that question. So since we're now wanting to add yet another field in here, it's super easy because we have this plain old class object, this Metar CS, that we can just add this field and then go and grab it in Razor. It's like a couple of lines of code. It's pretty freaking sweet. Since we're nerds, I'm going to do nerdy stuff here. And we're going to say, now we have Kelvin. Temperature and dew point and Kelvin. So we've just added those fields. Then we're going to go here and say our Metar temperature K equals, and I'm just going to take this small equation out of here. Oh, this is a really easy equation. So we're just adding 273.15 to Celsius. So we'll take our fields here. We'll say convert. 32 our fields plus 273.15. And why is it barking at me? Value 0, 0, 0. Oh, convert it to a string. Perfect. And for dew point, we're just going to take field 1 and do the exact same thing. Then we'll run up here. This is a good thing. Thank you for bringing that up and saying, you know, do Kelvin, because here I can really clearly show how easy it is to take data and display it on the page with Blazor in a very short amount of code. So we basically decided that we wanted these 2 extra fields, and they're here. Just like that. So from idea to feature within minutes. One of the reasons I absolutely love Blazor. So now we go here to our weather page, and an error has occurred. All right. What is our error here? Input string was not in the correct format. So I'm assuming this is going to be the last one that I just did, 264. 264 right here. Our fields 1 0. So let's step through it. Let's see what we did wrong here. Go here and step through this. So we've got our temperature. Let's go to our Metar here. And we'll look, and we start with this one, 09, 48. So we've got both our temp and our dew point here. And this input field, our field 0, is the one it seems to be having a problem with. Ah, okay. This is where I messed up. Should look like this. Okay, that makes sense. Well, it's still a few minutes. Let's start it up again here. If you use the proper syntax, it's a few minutes to add fields like that. So here we are. So for those of you who are not on Twitch, Dukasoft just said, what about Kelvin? And then dropped in the equation to get Kelvin. So we added Kelvin to our temperature. So now we can see that our temperature is 22 Celsius, 71 Fahrenheit, and 295.15 Kelvin. Our dew point is 09, 48, 28.2.15. So now we have some nice temperature and dew point. I do need to figure out why this extra space here is after no clouds below 12,000. I'm going to have to figure out why we have an empty field there and how that came about. Let's do that before we do the last part of this. We might be able to get an hour today. So I've been promising an hour-long stream, and then I've done 2-hour streams. Just like continually going and going and going, and maybe we can get this done in an hour. Let's see. I guess there are worse things in the world. I could be just doing 10-minute streams when telling people that they're going to be an hour. Where was I looking here? Airport code, and then we have... Yes, I think it's up here in the Razor. We say for each report in cloud cover. This is where I want to stop things and see what we have in that report. We'll view it as text. No clouds. It looks like... I wonder if I just need to trim. We don't want to do any wrap. Trim, because it looks like we just have that one report. But report may have something in it. Maybe that second line is blank or something. So let's look and see here. We are factoring in if report type is cloud. Store cloud report here. And let's try in store cloud report. Oh, we are doing a trim. First 3. Oh, that's right, because we want to do that. And then if it's last 3, we have elevation. And then we add it to that. Cover data. So I'm going to say there's probably something that this is being called. So we're calling store cloud report, and for some reason, as a string empty, it shouldn't have anything. Cloud cover data equals, and then this one does a plus equal of elevation. Okay. Actually, let's try, I'm going to try looking at the actual Metar string to see if there's any clues in there. No clouds below 12,000 feet. So it says clear. And yeah, there is no cloud information at all in here. There's no wind either. 0 knots. 0 clouds. I'm telling you, it's 71 degrees. It's like literally a perfect day in Hillsboro today. So I'm going to say if there's no clouds below 12,000 feet, we are hitting no clouds below. So if it's clear, clouds below 12,000 feet for cloud cover data. I wonder if I'm just adding, because I didn't even see a clear in there when I was looking at that. Oh yeah, there is a clear right there. So if there's no clouds below 12,000 feet, I'm wondering if it's just cover data, last 3. if it's numbers, it's elevation. So I wonder if I just need to trim again. But this just seems a little weird. Yeah, I shouldn't have to trim it again because I'm creating this string, so I know that I'm not putting in anything silly in there. Cloud cover. Let's see what cloud cover looks like by the time we get here. Let's do a little stepping through here. Eventually, I really do think this should just be a class library, and we'll do some unit tests. Not today, but that is something that we should definitely do with this project. Let's open up weather again. Cloud cover right now, count is 0. We go F10. Now the count is 1. 0. No clouds below 12,000 feet. As we move along through here, we're iterating, 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 iterating. What is our cloud cover doing? Our Metar cloud cover, it's still staying at 1. Yeah, it is going through temp dew point. And it's just populating this thing, but the count's staying at 1. I can see the cloud cover. Count 1. Just keep going through here. Oh, and we just added cloud cover data again. Why did we add cloud cover data again? That's what I was looking for. Where's I at? I is... Oh, I'm gonna have to go through this whole thing again. Yeah, I just added a blank string. So we're going to stop this one here, and I'm going to go a little bit slower this time and find out what I'm doing wrong here. Boom. Okay, we've gone here. Really look at where we're at. We've got a store cloud report happening here. Cloud data, Metar field. Just CLR, which means no clouds. We're taking this, we're saying cloud cover, string empty, burst 3, no clouds below 12,000 feet, break. This is what we want. This is exactly what we want. Then we're going through the last 3 just to see if it's a match, see if there's some elevation. Last 3 we can see here is not even registering anything. So the last 3 is null. String 3. Why would that be null? Should absolutely not be null. Substring 3. Because then we're matching this thing against we'll still keep moving here. So we're adding no clouds below 12,000 feet. Perfect. Then we go through here. If report type is cloud, store it. Okay, so we're storing that data now. Now we've stored it. We're going back through. I is now at 4. So it's going to go back. It's going to increment. I is number 5 now. So we're not going to do this. 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 But now we're going to get a report type. And it's saying the report type is temp viewpoint. Oops. So it skips over that. We're not going to store a cloud report because it's a temp viewpoint. Instead, we're going to store the temp and the dew point. Cool. We're going to go down here. It's not number 6. It'll skip that. It's not number 7. It's going to skip that. Now we're going to go back. Now we're in 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to get the report type again. Report type null. Report type is still null here. Yeah, report type is still, well, it's empty. So we're not storing a cloud report. We're not number 7. Let's get the heck out. Now we're at number 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're at number 7. We'll go here. String report type is null. And we say get report type with metar data 7. And it's saying that it's a cloud. So it's falsely saying it's cloud because it says RMK. So that's why I'm adding that extra thing. So I was looking for something that's like, if it's 3 letters, if it starts with 3 letters, it has to be a cloud report. But I didn't think about the fact that remarks starts with 3 letters. Remark is, yeah. And some of the remarks start with letters too. So that's a little bit concerning, but for now we'll strip the remark out of there. So now I know how to fix that blank part that was added. Going to get report type. If its first 3 is 3 letters, it must be cloud. I'll put or remarks because we've learned something new today. If it's all letters, it could be clouds or starting remarks. So if, we'll just do a simple if statement on this one. We have the first 3, right? Yeah, first 3. So if first 3 equals RMK, then we're going to say report type equals start remarks. Otherwise, it's cloud. For now. For now, it's cloud. I have a feeling this is going to change too. I think we're going to find some other 3-letter things in there, especially in remarks. But let's go ahead and hit this real quick. Oh, and I'll remove all of these. Continue. There we go. Now it looks like we want it to look. We've got our metar string here. Airport code, KHIO, day of the month, Zulu time, no measurable wind, times 2, no clouds below 12,000 feet, and we don't have that extra little thing that I did not want on there. So this is awesome. This is great. I'm going to do another quick tech check. We are on YouTube. We are on LinkedIn. I might be the only person watching this on LinkedIn now. We are on Twitch. All right. Twitch. What about Twitter? I'm not logged into Twitter, so I think we're on Twitter too. So, great success, right? We've got this here. We need to address remarks. And I can see right here, SLP 146 means we have some remarks, right? Remarks. Oh, my privacy settings blocked access to my location. That's interesting. Oh, that's an old Metar. So we're going to go to a Metar decoder. We're going to drop in our Metar and see what that remark means. Since somebody's already built a great Metar. And this one does not read remarks. I can guess why. Because remarks are even more free form than the rest of the Metar fields are. So, but that's cool. That's cool and fine. Let's see. Let's just, for now, I think we'll just drop in. We'll address remarks in a future stream. For now, I think we'll just drop in the last part, which is our altimeter reading. How do we know something is a altimeter reading? Well, let's take a look at it again. Actually, let's jump in and look at our altimeter. A2997. So 29.97, which happens to be the altimeter reading at sea level. So, and we're above sea level, so that's interesting, but we're right where we need to be, I guess. So we know that it's going to be an A followed by 4 digits. So we can do another regex check for that. And I think that will be how we can see if we have an altimeter report. So this thing is getting cooler and cooler as time goes on. Store cal report, store temp due time. We don't want to store anything yet. Get report type. So each of these are going to return something or nothing. Like report type returns string empty quite a bit right now, but we're going to regex for this. So I think I can cobble this together. Is it just me or other developers? I learn regex, like if I'm deep in a software project and I'm using a lot of regex, I'll learn it and be able to freehand it and do everything great, and then I don't use it again for another 6 months or a year or 2 years or something, and I forget all of it. I don't think I'm the only person that has that problem. So regex, instead of first 3 though, instead of first 3, we need to do the whole Metar field. And we should say, if it has 4 digits, and 1 A through Z. So 1 letter, 4 digits, then this has to be altimeter. And we can absolutely test that quickly. So let's test it quickly. Report type cloud. Thank you. Report type. We'll just keep continuing. This report type, temp viewpoint. Thank you. Now I'm going to slip this in here really quick. Now we're back here. This Metar field is A2297. So this absolutely should say Yes, report type altimeter. So that regex worked. Awesome. We're going to put this in and make it happen. There's a couple of housekeeping things I want to say on here. Quick. Really. Stream starting. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. So I mentioned earlier that we do streaming. So I do the stream every Tuesday at 11 Pacific time. David Neal does All Hands on Tech Live every Thursday at 11 p.m. And he's awesome. Like, David is amazing at streaming. A lot of fun. And he's working on a really cool app, building this teleprompter in Electron.js. And it's very cool. So you should check that out. But we stream primarily on Twitch, and then we attempt to stream on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. If you're watching us on any of those platforms, and Twitter once in a while, if you're watching us on any of those platforms, I would like you to check out our Twitch channel. That's right, twitch.tv/pluralsight_live. That's where all of our streams always go, all the time. And we're going to be probably doing some Twitch exclusive stuff. In fact, we are going to, I'm not going to say probably, we are going to do it. So we have an author summit coming up. We're going to do some author summit stuff on Twitch. We're going to do some more live interviews, things like that, and more live coding. Everything is basically going to be on Twitch. So if you follow us on Twitch, you're pretty much guaranteed to see all of those things. Whereas with the other stuff, it's maybe if it works, it'll be there. So be sure to follow us on Twitch. And also, we're doing a Cloud Happy thing right now with Pluralsight that is one of the coolest things I've seen since I started working for Pluralsight. I've been involved with them since 2015, 2016. They've done a lot of really cool things, like Free April, things like that. But this one is really cool. And I'm not just saying it because I work for Pluralsight or anything like that. This is actually really cool. So we're doing a Cloud Happy program. And with Cloud Happy, I'll just bring it up here. Pluralsight.com. It's probably going to be on the front page. Sure, it is. Come on, get Cloud Happy. Get certified for free in less than 90 days. So what does that mean? Basically, there's a few certifications that they have here. So if you want to get cloud certified, free cert prep courses. I mean, free as in absolutely free. You don't pay for them. And we've got a Discord channel that's up where you can talk with peers. So if you can pick out something like the AZ900, something like that, which actually I'm thinking of doing. You can go through, take these free courses, free cert prep courses, get the cert, go into our Discord, brag about it. It's awesome. So it's Cloud Happy is what it's called. So go ahead and check us out at pluralsight.com. I will drop a link in here somewhere. I can find the good Cloud Happy link. I'll do that. Where is our Cloud Happy link? There we go. Okay, and I'm going to drop the link in the chat for anybody interested. There we go. So just click on that, go to the Cloud Happy thing and get Cloud Happy. I think it's really cool because there's a lot of folks that aren't Pluralsight customers that want to, take a few courses just for this certification, something like that. I just think it's really cool that, democratizing tech skills has been something that we've talked about for years. And that's one of the things is just making these cert prep courses available to everybody, no matter what your experience level is. So you could go out and get a certification and start rocking it in the cloud world. So I think that's really, really cool. So I just wanted to put that out there. Follow us on Twitch. Do the cloud happy thing. Go out and build cool stuff. That's my message, my overall message of the day. And speaking of cool stuff, this is going to be cool if it works. We need a store. So if it's an altimeter, we need to do a store altimeter thing, right? So we'll add this here. If report type altimeter, then of course we need to store altimeter, which doesn't exist yet, but it will in a second here. Store altimeter, Metar data 5. Now there's a whole bunch of ways that I've thought about refactoring this thing, and we are absolutely going to altimeter. Can't spell today. I think that's how altimeter spelled. It's fine. For now, it's fine. So we're just going to go into this store. We're going to create a private void store altimeter. Oh, yeah, I did spell that wrong. Oh, thank you. The true Zach Pack Zero says Pluralsight rocks. Pluralsight does rock. It is amazing. Like I said, I've been involved with them since 2016 as an author. I got an opportunity to become a full-time employee in 2019, and it was like the easiest decision ever because, you know, outside Pluralsight is really cool in tech, really great to people, but inside it's really great too. Like it's just full of talented, awesome people. I have amazing leadership who allows me to do stuff like this stream. They're like, just go on and do whatever you think's best. You know, there's no like micromanagement, no stodgy rule sets. It's just go out and teach people. Okay, cool. So yeah, love my job. Love Pluralsight. Let's see, altimeter is going to be Metar field. And we'll go scroll up here to altimeter, and we've added another field in Blazor again, like magic. Oh, here we go. Altimeter, altimeter. Apparently, it's already wired up. Or not. Store altimeter. Oh, yeah. My misspelled method call there. All right, let's see. Is it going to work? And no, it does not work. So let's find out why. I can tell you why right now, because I only put this in number 5, not number 6, not number 7, which it could be either of those. So as a part of the refactoring that I talked about, we're not going to do this repeating code nonsense. I think the best way, so I converted this, if you've been watching all of our streams, there's been kind of a history of, and I've done this very intentionally. I wanted to make this like a real development process. And with real development, there's like a first draft, second draft, third draft. I do that. I write absolute junk code to cobble it together and then refactor it. And it just gets smaller and smaller and more clever and useful. And so I've intentionally done that. So what we were doing is just exploding that string, that Metar string, into a space-separated string, and then saying, you know, if it's 0, we'll do this. If it's 1, we'll do this. Well, each of those indexes changes and flexes, so I just do a for loop through it now. And so now I'm doing a for loop through it and noticing some repeating code here also. So I think I'm going to stick with the for loop, but I'm going to build a method that will go in and look at this data and see what type of data it is, like we're doing here, but do it in a smarter way. So it's just going to do that iteration one time through and hopefully be able to store all of the fields based on probably some crafty regex. But for today, I think this is going to work. Let's see, store altimeter, store altimeter. So if it's a report type of altimeter through any of these last fields, then it should store my altimeter data. There it is. Altimeter A2995, which doesn't mean anything to anybody, right? So we need to chop the A off of there and put a little period in the middle there. And I'm trying to think of a good way to insert a period in the middle of a string. So I'm not entirely sure of the best way to do that, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out together. And that'll be the last part. We'll keep this at about an hour. We're already past an hour, so. But let's see, where were store altimeter data? There it is. So in store altimeter, we're just dumping it in there. Let's make that a character array. This might be kind of a kludgy way to do it, but we'll just call this our string. That seems messy too. So we're gonna definitely remove zero. I'm not sure why I made that a string. So we'll definitely remove zero, pull that A off of there. Oh, not just removes that, huh? Yeah, you put a zero in there, it just removes the whole thing. I should have known that. So there we go. Now we have 2995. Let's just look it up in Google or Bing. Insert a character into middle of string C#. See if somebody else has a smarter solution than what I'm thinking of in my head right now. This C# method places one string into another. It forms a new string. We use insert. It's a range of characters. Yeah. So insert string examples. Let's use insert. Strings that are dynamic and not literals. Insert, oh. So that actually does seem fairly straightforward. It's been a long time since I've used insert. So insert at index, well, it would be 2 or 3. I don't know if it does it before or after the remove. So let's just say 2. We want to insert a period. Let's see what that looks like. Ha! It's perfect. It's perfect. That's too easy. One of the reasons I love C# and .NET is this. One of the reasons I love Blazor is because it's like this super easy put together thing. I mean, today we've been, as we've been going through this stream, we're adding fields. We added this Kelvin field just kind of out of nowhere. And it's like, we add a field to an object and boom, boom, put it in a Razor in a couple minutes. Super easy. But one of the reasons I love C# is there's so much built-in stuff that we don't have to do a lot of regex and string manipulations. We just have to put .insert 2 period, and it's going to insert, because it is 29.92 HG for that field. So I can put the little HG in there. Which is the symbol for Mercury. So, just in case anyone was wondering, This is for the atmospheric pressure. So we can drop this in here. Up at the top, down to the bottom, dew point altimeter. There we go. We'll just put the little HG in there. Now, the only thing we're not doing is processing remarks today. We are not processing remarks. We can dump remarks because I think, yeah, there's a bool has remarks that we can set, and we can dump remarks in there. But I think the next time the next time I'm going to do this stream, I think what I will do is we'll do that big refactor that I was talking about. So we've refactored this thing several times on these streams, but I think we'll do a big refactor where we are just going to go loop field by field, no matter how many fields there are, or for loop. We already did that refactor. So no matter how many fields there are, we're going to loop through and we're going to grab each one of them. And then we're going to refine the check report type. We're going to refine it next time really well so that we can look at that string in that field and know where it is, or what it is, and where it's supposed to be. And we're going to do that refactoring before we start pulling in remarks. That way we can definitely get these first fields spotted. You know, we can loop through and say, this is this, and this is this, and oh, this one's gone today, so we won't put anything there, etc. And then once we hit RMK, which means we have remarks, which we might have remarks and we might not, but we hit RMK, we say has remarks, then we'll start processing those remarks. That's what we're going to do next time. Unfortunately, next time is probably not going to be next week. So I do this every Tuesday. I've done it for several Tuesdays now. Every Tuesday at 11. However, I am having surgery, and we have Author Summit coming up and things like that. So I will not be able to do this next Tuesday. However, the Tuesday after that, maybe I'll do 2 streams to make up for it, but we will get this refactored. We'll get it beautiful. We'll get it awesome. And I am currently taking suggestions for the next tool to add to our toolkit here. So what I want to do is make this very location based. So we started this with what's my IP, where am I coming from, so people could bring up a web page and see their IP address, see what city they're coming from. What I want to do is a little bit of location-based stuff, and that's where the Metar comes in. We're going to try to find the local airport and then grab the Metar for that local airport and put it all in automatically onto one Blazor page. But I'm looking for suggestions. Somebody had suggested during a stream that we do something like look for dog parks in your area or something. I think that would be really cool. Events, you know, I would like to be able to bring up this page, which it's not up. So I'll bring it up here. So for a little inspiration, we'll look at the page. So I want to be able to come in here and say, this is your IP address. You're located in Hillsboro, Oregon. Here's some cool stuff happening in Hillsboro next weekend. That's a good idea, though every single city, an API for every single city obviously doesn't exist for something like that, so it'll have to utilize some kind of search function. So we need to find a good service with cool things to do that you can search by city or something like that. And I want it to pull the Metar for that city like automatically. So we're doing Hillsboro here, but only because I've hard-coded KHIO in. I would like to do something that says, what's your nearest airport? Let's grab their Metar and put it on the screen for you. And we could do something like, weather today is 78 degrees Fahrenheit with no wind. Click here for more and have it click and span open something with all of this detail data. I don't know. But we're going to keep working on this thing. I've got some new project ideas for the winter time. So fall and winter, David and I are both going to be streaming very consistently. So follow us, twitch.tv, Pluralsight_live. Because, yeah, both Dave and I are going to be streaming consistently, and I'm going to be looking for a new project. I'm kind of thinking about building a blog with Blazor with a twist. And that twist will be, this is one of the ideas that I was thinking of, is it'll be backed by a database, maybe even have a WYSIWYG editor in it. But then when you hit publish, it actually publishes out to flat HTML pages that can go anywhere, like GitHub pages, Netlify, something like that. So I haven't really thought it out very deeply. I know there's probably an exact solution for this that exists, but this is a good way for us to learn Blazor together, learn what it's capable of, and maybe we'll build some really cool blog software out of it. I love static sites. I use that on my personal blog. We use it on allhandsontech.com. You know, I like static site generators, so why not build one with Blazor? It'd be kind of cool. But anyway, I would like to thank everybody for coming in here today, for watching my stream. Thanks, Dukasoft, for the suggestion to add Kelvin, because we added a little functionality there that's kind of cool. And yeah, I will see you all in 2 weeks. However, David Neal will be doing his Electron app on Thursday at the same time, so be sure to check it out. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining my stream. This has been a lot of fun.